This is part 2 of chasing our mainline steam locomotive named Eddystone, numbered 34028. This locomotive we rescued from the scrapyard. We then carefully restored it, and now it is back at London Victoria doing what it does best. In part 1 we caught up with Eddystone at Sittingbourne, where after it pulled into the station it began its reversal up towards Sheerness-on-Sea. It then passed through Swale railway station and across the Kingsbury Bridge.
Big engine.
And then, after a break at the terminus station of Sheerness-on-Sea, Eddystone began its turn at the head of the train, heading towards Dover via Canterbury, on its way to its next water stop at Folkestone West. We jumped in our van and caught and passed Eddystone as it left Sheerness-on-Sea station. We are going to use Google Maps now to show you how Eddystone is going to get to Folkestone West. The black line shows the route that Eddystone will be taking. As you can see, there's a bit of a roundabout way to get to Folkestone, but you have to go via Dover, as there is no longer a direct route from Canterbury down to Folkestone. And as you can see, when you get to Dover, there's quite a right turn there, as the train then heads towards Folkestone. And because of that tight turn, Eddystone will be travelling quite a bit slower. So that gives us the chance in the van to catch up and get to Folkestone before the train. Just in case you were thinking what the blue spots was to the west of Folkestone, it is in fact Sandling, which will be our next observation point after Folkestone West, where Eddystone will be receiving a drink and where we'll be having a quick word with Richard Moffat. We've made good time in the van and got to Folkestone West well before Eddystone. And as you can see here, Folkestone West is a bit of a shadow of its former self here. So both the fast lines removed from the centre. They used to have 4 lines here, now it's down to 2. But we have high-speed trains. This is the high-speed Javelin sitting at the down platform, waiting to depart to head towards Dover. As we have some rail enthusiasts there on the platform waiting for Eddystone. I've just had a word with the tanker driver and he's having problems gaining access to where he needs to be to re-water Eddystone. So we're going to have to make it up as we go along. As you can see there, he's parked in the car park, but there's an access road just behind that, but the gate is closed and locked. And in the nick of time, the gate is unlocked. Alright, let's open the gate. You need a hand seeing me seeing you down there, yeah? Oh dear. Oh, that one's tied upwards. That's it. Alright. I'll be this side. Come on, Dean, get back on track. You're supposed to be here to film Richard. HD, where are you? You got Richard with you?
I haven't seen him, no.
No,
There must be one further back.
Oh yeah, I'll see him.
What do you want us to do? Walk it over? Well,
Alright. Here he is, just a man.
Let's get to the engine.
Yep. Yeah, we weren't sure where the tanker was going to be. Whether it should be down the bottom or up here. Richard Moffat is one of the founder members of the Southern Pacific Rescue Group. They're the group that rescued Eddystone from Barry Scrapyard in South Wales and brought it back to Kent and began its restoration. That group later become part of Southern Locomotives Limited.
All okay, Grant?
Yeah, I think so, mate, yeah.
oh, I know those.
The petrol engine you hear there in the background is in fact the water pump from the lorry pumping water to Eddystone's tender. Richard is about to take his place next to the nameplate for the local press to take some photographs, and then we can get on with our quick chat. That'll do.
Nice to see you.
Right, let's say a few words, Richard Moffat.
Yeah, right. Well, it's been a great pleasure being here today. It's a culmination of some 35 to 40 years of work to finally get Eddystone on the main line, and more especially appearing in a hometown of preservation, Folkestone, as he was initially restored to a certain extent at Sandling, which is very close to Folkestone, of course, and a part of our own very special story. Also, we're very proud that our engine was selected to run the Armistice Express today on 11/11. And especially the connection folks have got to do with World War I armistice, and of course connection with Folkestone Harbour and the Remembrance Line.
Excellent. Okay, right, let's get to Sandling. We've not got too long. And then got to drive to Sandling, which is the next station along. It's only about 5 to 6 minutes travelling time, and we've not got that in the van, it's probably about 15 minutes by road. Look at that, I'm a fast walker. Right, let's get to the van, start it up, pick up my passenger and let's get off to Sandling. It is an easy and straight run for Eddystone to get from Folkestone West to Sandling, but it's not by road. But luckily we made it, as Eddystone still had quite some time to fill up its tender. That was a London-bound Eurostar heading up the formerly known Channel Tunnel Rail Link, which is now known as HS1. Let's zoom in and take a quick look at Saltwood Tunnel. It's 954 yards long, so it's quite a length of tunnel there. And just the other side you have Saltwood Junction. Thought we'd get that in shot, which is the French-bound Eurostar. And as you can see there, it peels off to the left as it goes over the hill, because it goes to the left-hand side of Dollans Moor, while the London-bound trains go to the right, or come from the right, should I say. So they go over the hill, while the old railway goes through the hill. This former junction station is quite a popular train spotters location. Eddystone will cross Saltwood Junction and then enter the tunnel. We're just waiting for that moment that happens. Oh, this could pose a problem. Some of these guys are wishing that service train gets a move on, otherwise it will get in the way of their shot. Particularly this guy down here on the left hand side is not going to be very happy if that service train is still sitting there when Eddystone comes through. Still no movement. Let's have a zoom up, shall we? Still no sign. Whoa. Yes, here we go. Eddystone is entering the tunnel. Eddystone and the service train sharing the tunnel. It's a long tunnel, I think it is 954 yards long. Something like that. Oh, we've got a squirrel on the fence as well. Missed it. Try and get Eddystone back in shot. Got a signal gantry in the way, but I can't help that. Absolutely lovely to see it on home ground. Here at Sandling. Never thought I'd see the day. We've got some catching up to do now because we are going to Maidstone East. I was hoping to catch Eddystone at Lenham, but there was just no way we're going to make that, so we're going to go straight up the M20 to Maidstone East. I don't think we're going to be able to catch Eddystone because Maidstone East here, as you can see in the centre of the screen, where we need to see Eddystone is where it crosses the River Medway. So that means we've got to run the entire length of this picture after we park the van up. That's once we've caught it. So it's not looking good. But of course we still have to adhere to all the speed limits. There's no speed in here. This concrete road makes it sound like we have some wheel flats. We arrive at Maidstone, sprint down the alleyway, get to the bridge, turn around, and just in time, Eddystone appears. Can't believe we did it. We raced it to Maidstone and won. Goodbye Eddystone, see you soon. I'd like to say a special thanks to all of you who have supported the channel, all of you who have purchased our merchandise, and all of you who have become shareholders in Southern Locomotives Limited. Without you guys, none of this would have been possible.